Oh my goodness. We have been laughing so hard, Darrell. I know why you love this other blonde woman of your life now, because she's so much energy.
Hmm. And I need to feed off someone else's energy at this stage of life.
Well,
Well,
I am so happy to meet you, Jody, and to be part of this with you. This is so exciting. It's very, very exciting. We have exciting stuff that's happening. And yeah, I just can't believe that I get to do this.
I know. It's like the fun things we get to do in life.
Yes.
Well,
And let me tell you that technology is not my friend today.
it's always the way. And I made you guys use a brand new platform this morning, so it is what it is. Like, we don't have to worry about it. It's Coffee
Look, you'll
Club.
get as I try to figure out my thing, which is so unprofessional, but I just can't seem to figure it out this morning.
It's all
You
good.
get to see my whole office.
The whole thing. We're waiting for people to join us anyway, so this is the stalling portion of the show, so it's totally fine. Good morning, Cheryl.
Morning. Good to see you, Jody. For a number of years, we saw each other 5 mornings a week as we launched a radio station in Okotoks back in 2003.
Now, is it not a little bit weird? I was thinking about this the other day, that next month is the 20th anniversary of that.
Amazing, isn't it? Wow.
I don't know how they recruited me at 15 years old to start a radio station with you, but it happened. Like, it was really just great luck.
Oh, but you were so polished and so professional.
As a kid, I mean, I just can't believe that 20 years has gone by and that you and I have been, like, I swear to goodness, from the moment we met, we were instant best friends, and here we are 20 years later.
There are only a handful of people in this life that you link up immediately with. You are one of them. Jacqueline is one of them, and Barb Higgins probably, I must say, tops my list. I don't know if you saw the special that CTV did on Canada Day about my career, and Barb talked about how we met. Our eyes met in the makeup mirror. You know, the mirror with
Right.
all the lights around it in the makeup room. When she came to do an audition with me in 1989, and she was 20, 25 years old, 26, something like that.
Yeah.
She was a child, and like you were when we started.
Yeah.
But anyway, our eyes met in the mirror, and there was an instant connection.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, we're so connected. We pretty much wore the same shirt today. So
Yeah.
Okay, so what's really funny is that I was going to wear blue as well.
Well,
You should have.
aren't you?
Should I go change?
Yeah, quickly. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, because I haven't even been on yet. So, I mean, those that are viewing will be like, who is this? And then you'll have to reintroduce me all over
Yeah,
again.
like, what is happening? We haven't even done any introductions yet, so it's all good. But my friends, I am so glad that you could connect in and join us on Coffee Club. I just want to say a quick hi to Deanna and Lynn and Angie and Cheryl, who are all watching with us live. Feel free to say hello in the comments if you're catching this on the replay. Join the conversation there as well, because it's all about community and connecting in. And these two amazing guests have had pretty cool careers on their own and have recently collaborated for a new television show called Legacy Makers. So please welcome Jacqueline and Darrell to the show. And yeah, we've been reminiscing a little bit, because how many years was it that you were at CTV, Darrell?
We worked together for the same company. Well, you left briefly and came back, but the full total was 8 years. And that's how long I'm hoping I work with Jacqueline as well, which takes me almost to 90. But
there you go. And you were at CTV for 40 years?
Pardon?
You were at CTV for how long?
I worked at CTV Calgary for 50. This year marks 50. Altogether, counting other stations, Montreal, Regina, Saskatoon, altogether nearly 60 years with CTV.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Isn't that crazy, Jacqueline, to think that?
What's crazy is that I get to work with him.
Yeah.
That
You
through
snagged him in
all
the
of
prime
those,
time. Yeah.
you bet I did. And but I didn't snag anything that didn't want to be snagged, is what I think.
It was easy fishing that day. I get it. So I first came in contact, Jacqueline, with your work when you started a show called In the Jump Seat with Jacqueline Clements, and you had interviewed a couple of our mutual dear friends in Pamela Morgan and Stephen Morgan. And that's how I kind of learned what you have been doing in the world. And a little bit, I was like, who is this? Who is this Jacqueline? She's pretty awesome. I need to know more information. And so I came to learn some of the incredible things that you've done in the world. And you've recently launched this show where Darrel is going to be your co-host. And I'd love you to tell us a bit about how did this come to be and how did this come to fruition?
Well, first of all, Jody, thank you again for having us on the show. And I need to know, do you want the A to B version or the scenic route?
Whatever you want to tell.
Well, the scenic route is storytelling, and that's what I love to do. I love to tell stories, and I love to hear people's stories, and that's how really all of this continues to just unfold in front of us. So last fall, I reached out, just really felt very prompted to just reach out to Yes TV. I didn't have any contacts there, and I picked a name that I thought would be appropriate to send an official pitch to. And it turned out that it was the right woman. And she was actually on holidays. And you know how you get that standard response, like really quick, I'm out of the office for the next week. If it's an emergency, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, I know from experience that even if that is what comes back, people are monitoring emails. So perhaps somebody will see my email and maybe they will respond. But worst case scenario, it's not my first rodeo. Yay, Calgary Stampede. You know, it's not my first rodeo. So pretty much rejection was at the top of my list. But unbeknownst to me, it hit all the right people. And the very next morning, I had a response from the CEO and directly, which anybody
Never
who
happens.
knows never happens. And he's like, I love what you're talking about. I'm going to set up a meeting and we're going to talk about this. So that was like the beginning of October, end of September. We had our first meeting, beginning of November. And it was with all the leadership team, all the big players. We had, you know, I even at the last minute, it was like 5 minutes before the Zoom meeting, and I'm Googling who I'm going to be talking with. And I'm like, oh my goodness, if I had known this 3 hours ago, I probably would have drank way too much coffee. So it really was all the top dogs, head of every department. And they really loved what we were proposing. And so then that just sparked more conversation. And then, first of all, they really loved Jump Seat. That was what I leveraged to get inside the door. And then in the beginning of February, they said, hey, we really like the idea of a brand new talk show for Western Canada for our broadcast network. What could you give us? They gave us 3 weeks. We put together a pitch. We talked with Darrel to see if he was on board. He's like, yeah, I'm on board. And 2 months, not even 2 months later, we were filming.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Which, again, you know, anybody who knows kind of the industry knows that just doesn't happen either, right? Like it takes forever. In fact, we were still finishing up our contract 2 weeks before we went to film. So it's a crazy ride. It wasn't a crazy ride. It is still a crazy ride. And I get to do it with Darrel, and and my husband too, because he and I are definitely a strong team. So
Yeah, that's pretty cool. What was it like, Darrel, to get this call from Jacqueline and hearing her
Oh,
idea?
I had met Jacqueline and Bill on a number of occasions.
mm,
Calgary has a big event every fall called the Calgary Leadership Prayer Breakfast. And for a number of years, they were doing the production part of that. And then came the COVID years where it was live streamed. And so they did the camera work, they did everything uh, technical to do with that big breakfast. And so, and I don't mean the big breakfast on another
Yeah.
TV. Anyway, uh, so I knew them from that, and had been at a shoot for Jump Seat one time in Okotoks, and knew they were professionals.
Yeah.
And when they approached me, at first I was a little leery. I thought, if I do that, CTV will probably uh, not allow me to do that, and the Inspired Albertan series, which I enjoyed so much. But I finally came to the point where I said, okay, if it has to be one or the other, this would be a lot of fun, and it would allow me to take something off my bucket list that had been there for a long time. I'd always wanted to do a TV talk show. I had done a few radio talk shows filling in for talk show guests back when radio talk shows were on almost every station. And I had done one on
mm.
CFCN replacing the late Gord Kelly when he'd go on vacation and things like that. And so I loved that kind of work. And so I thought, wow, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I don't know how much lifetime I've got left. I'm into my 80s. I'm an octogenarian. And so,
Oh, that sounds so fancy.
It really does.
and so it came to the point where I knew I had to make a choice. I could not do both. Uh,
Yeah.
and so I chose this, and I'm glad I did. I felt at peace with that decision ever since I made it.
Yeah.
I had 50 wonderful years with
Mm.
CFCN, CTV Calgary, and cherish those times. And the tribute they did to me on Canada Day really touched my heart. And my one sister, who watched it at a pretty remote location, phoned me in tears.
Yeah.
She was crying because she said, there was so much about you I didn't know. She said, you never told us you were that important.
Yeah.
And I said, well, we're good Mennonites, so we don't talk about ourselves.
Yeah.
And but anyway, I said, no, I said, I wasn't that important, but I was very fortunate to win the favor of a lot of people in many places. And so it's been a wonderful ride, and CTV treated me so well all those years. But this is on to something new. I mean, how many people are lucky enough, blessed enough at into their as an octogenarian to be offered a new position, a new job, and one that is so much fun, and the whole crew, Bill and Jacqueline, and all of the crew that they have assembled around themselves are just so much fun to work with.
Yeah. I love that. Well, I don't know how many octogenarians are there out there that decide in this decade, in this level of the game, to still be chasing dreams, still be going after the lifelong ambitions and trying something new and being that brave. It's a very select few, my friend, and you are continuing to be so inspiring to all of us, because I hope I start something new and fun in my 80s. You bet.
Mm,
Yeah, me
well,
too.
thank you. I am deeply touched and honored, uh, and you know, I am so inspired by my children who live on the west coast of Vancouver Island. They both took on something new in their 50s, and for some people that's late. My
Yeah.
daughter, who always loved singing and was doing some 1950s pop stuff with a small band in Victoria, and then this renowned jazz pianist from Victoria heard her doing Gail Storm's Dark Moon from the 1950s. And he came up to her and said, "You should be doing jazz." She said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "You are a throwback to the great jazz singers of the past." And she is now a renowned jazz singer. And when I go out there in early August, I'm going to get to hear her and Bill perform at the Souk Fine Arts Show.
Ooh. See, age is irrelevant. It really 100% is. We
Oh,
get
yeah.
hung up on it a lot as humans. I think it's a conditioning thing, but we're going to leave it behind. Starting today, age is irrelevant. I think we still celebrate each and every year. We're blessed to have, feet on this side of the earth, but man,
Right?
doesn't stop us, does it?
One of my mottos is you're never too old or too young to start something new. And I'm living proof, and so is Darrel, because it wasn't until like our 50s, really, that all this stuff started to happen. All the years of you put one foot in front of the other and you think, how on earth will this experience help me in the future? Because I don't see any connection. And then you're just a few steps down the road or another year and you go, oh, had I not done that, I wouldn't be here today. So it all builds upon each other. And
It's almost like someone has a plan for us.
yes.
Well,
Both Darrel and I have a strong faith, and I'm not going to speak for Darrel, but I sure believe that there is a plan and a purpose for me. And I don't ever want to put words in Darrel's mouth, because he has a finer way.
Enough of his own. Yeah.
Well, he just has a more eloquent way to say things, but definitely, I just am so grateful for where we are at right now, and it is not slowing down, and for that I'm grateful too.
I love that. So
Well,
if people haven't heard of Yes TV, Jacqueline, and where they can find the show and how they can tune in to these great stories and conversations that the two of you have, how do they do that? Where do they do that? Because I feel like this is a relatively new option, newer for people.
Yeah, Jody, thank you for bringing that up, because it really is. You can find it first and foremost, yestv.com. Very simple. Their website, they are doing some changes to their website, but currently right now, if you just go on there and you look at the schedule, you just hit the schedule button or tab, and it'll bring you down to Ontario. I think it might be Edmonton and Calgary. I can't remember, but I know there's Ontario and Calgary. And you just click Calgary and the day that you want to watch something, and you'll see we're, I don't fully understand why we are placed where we are, but it's working so far. So we're, Legacy Makers, new episode comes out every Wednesday night at 11 p.m. in Western Canada, and 10:30 p.m. Thursday nights for Eastern Canada. Now, what's really great about our show is that Legacy Makers airs it, I think it's 4 or 5 times a week in Western Canada. So if you don't catch it the one night, you can catch it a couple other times, twice on Sunday, once Monday night, I think, as well. But just PVR it. That's what I've been telling people to do. They're like, I don't stay up that late. And I'm like, listen, honey, I don't stay up that late either, because I'm up early. So, which, I am not a morning person. So all this change has been, it's been great. Yeah, thankful for that too. Yeah.
Embracing the mornings.
I took out stocks and coffee. So anyhow, I just PVR it. I tell them, just PVR the series, watch what you want, new episode every week. If you don't have cable, then you just have to wait till the fall. I know they're going to be live streaming it on their new platform later in the fall sometime. So
yeah, awesome.
That's what I got.
That's so great.
And both of us have so many family and friends who are giving us feedback, but so are like people I don't even know who have responded and say they love the whole concept.
Yeah.
And we've already interviewed so many amazing people making a true legacy in their own lives, all the way from a young woman whose dad was a very, very major oil man, and she has made her own way in developing her own uh, business and career, and obviously,
Legacy.
Yeah.
obviously, she is much like Dad, because she is just such a an entrepreneur, and so many others. We've had a singer and songwriter. We've had, and these are all coming up. We've recorded them; they're being edited, and will be coming up in the coming weeks. Just some absolutely amazing people.
I love it. And I like that we
Yeah.
get a little sneak peek of what's coming. You're not really telling us who's on the show, but you're giving us a little bit, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite
Yeah.
enough, but it's fine. No.
The episode that airs tonight, her name is Lesia Bear, and she is well known in the film and TV industry. And she has a great story about how she was bullied because of her Indigenous roots, and how her mom sent her to be with her dad that she hadn't met or hadn't seen for many years, and just that whole journey, and then to find out just how well known her dad was. And I can't spill all the things, but she just has a really great story about redemption and coming from just a terrible bullying situation growing up, and where she is now. She's a producer and a director. She's an actress. She's a makeup artist. Yeah, so Leslie's got a really great story. So that's airing tonight, Wednesday, 11 p.m.
Wednesdays. Oh, well, Wednesdays worked so good for us. Good.
Yeah,
Good.
they did. That's
Tonight at
great.
11. And I've put in the comments the link to yestv.com, so people can just click on that and head over and find it later. And it's going to be great. And you guys, I'm just so excited for all the stories that you're going to tell and share together. This is a very exciting new adventure.
Well, Jody, thank you. I just clicked on the chat and comments, and there are comments here. Hey, everybody. Hi, Angie and Lynn and Deanna. And I just wanted to say I just saw the comment button. So I'm just saying hi.
Well, many times when I was doing that series on CTV, Inspired Albertans, I was having so much fun. And many times I would interview someone and say, oh man, I wish I could do that over the period of half an hour instead of 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
And here I am basically getting to do a very similar thing in a half hour instead of 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I love, because it's hard to shorten somebody's story sometimes. Even the editing that you have to do for a half-hour show is probably pretty kudos to your editing team, because that's not easy either, right? So yeah.
No, we try to, with our guests, we try to get everything in between 30 and 40 minutes. And even then you have to cut 20 minutes out. And, that's like it's a whole episode, right? That you're cutting out potentially. But, the information is so great. And I love this new hashtag that is probably not new, but I found it just a little while ago. It's edutainment.
Yeah.
It's education, entertainment, and that's exactly what our show is. It's education and inspiring and entertaining.
I've heard infotainment, but not edutainment. Infotainment's easier to say. Yeah.
Yes, but I'm going to use that one too. It's what I really value are the viewers' response, which has been so strong. And we just had so many come through over the weekend, and I'm just so grateful. So for those that are just watching or tuning in, we look forward to your to your comments, and if they're not all positive, which is okay, filter them.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Filter them. Let's,
You can still give constructive criticism without being a jerk.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Jody. Your show.
Yeah.
You can say that.
Yeah. Oh, it's my show. I would say what my shirt says, so it's okay. But I didn't want to bring too much language into people know the shirt. They'll know what it says. It's our mantra on the show. Don't be a is our mantra. So you can give people feedback if it's like, oh, I didn't really like how this went, but I like how this. Just be kind, people. That's all. That's all that matters.
Kind.
And if you don't like the show, then don't watch it.
Yeah, but we want you to
Pretty
watch
easy.
it.
So everyone else will watch it. You guys, I don't think there's any worry on that because you're creating legacy of your own by sharing other people's. And we're so grateful that we have incredible content creators in this world who are continuing to find the essence of the good of human and the stories that matter to us and the stories that weave our hearts together in humanity. So thank you for being people who continue to find that content that fills our soul. We appreciate it so very much.
Well, Jody, thank you. Thanks. I'm going to do another plug. Is
Please
that
do.
okay?
Yeah.
So yeah.
You get 3 per show. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, what have I done? So yeah, for sure, Legacy Makers, we have Jump Seat in the Jump Seat with Jacqueline, which is getting lots of reviews, and we would love to do more seasons of that. But we also have another brand new show coming out that will air at the end of August, beginning of September on Yes TV and TELUS. So we're super excited about that, and it was filmed right here in Okotoks, and it's about grandmas.
Oh, I was just gonna be like, could you give us more information? It's about gorgeous grandmas. Okay.
It is. Yeah. It's about grandmas. And again, what's so interesting is
it a dating show for Darrel?
Okay, wouldn't that be something? Hey, could you just write that down? That's a new idea from Jody. Dating with Darrel.
Yeah.
Darrel, are you in? I just need to know.
The Bachelor at 80. Yeah. I love it.
Your ideas are fun to work with.
Oh yeah, it's what I truly love about the common thread between whatever we are doing is about leaving a legacy, and we want to leave a positive legacy. And I'm a grandma myself, and I've got 4, almost 5 grandchildren, and I want them to be able to watch shows that we make and that their parents are okay to show to my grandchildren. And so this one about grandmas is, again, talking about tradition and what they want to leave and why they want to leave. And what's so cool, Jody, is this show was filmed last fall before Legacy Makers even was conceived.
Yeah. Wow. Crazy how it all works out.
I love it.
I love that. And I appreciate both of your time so very much to connect with us this morning and chat about it. And I hope that we will keep in touch. And I look forward to catching, absolutely. Now that I know where to get the show, I can watch it. So I'm so excited.
Jody, I'm a fan. So thank you. I'm a new fan. So thank you so much.
2003.
Yeah. It's our 20-year legacy over here. Yeah.
I love it. You don't look like you've been in the industry for 20 years.
It was just going to get too thick with the compliments there. No, I'm just kidding.
I know.
You're back. Can you hear us? It's like, maybe. I said, you're back. You left for a moment. Okay. What were you saying?
Oh.
You'd cut out. Are you still there, my friend?
I'm still here.
Okay.
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can now. You just disappeared for a little bit.
All right. Okay.
Well, you've been a fan for 20 years, so I love that.
Yeah.
That was so much fun, and fun to be with you again this morning.
Yeah.
You mean this is it? Like, I feel like we're wrapping up. We're
We are.
wrapping up?
Yeah. Well, we've been talking for a half an hour already. Can you believe it?
Yeah, it's there comes the half-hour mark right there.
Yeah.
There it is. Well, thank you, Jody. I just
We could talk for
it's
hours. I
great.
know we could, but we'll just have you back on the show again.
Okay.
Well,
That
thank
works
you.
for Okay.
Yep, works for me.
All right.
Thanks,
Okay.
Jody.
Thank you. I hope you
Thank
guys
you,
have an
Jody.
amazing day. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you. Oh, nice little plug.
Yep. I was like, oh, look at your logo cup. Daryl's got his handsome old guy cup. We got it.
Well, Jody, I look forward to our paths crossing again in Okotoks and High River. And yeah, this has been wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. And I wish you all the continued success that you desire to have.
Are you off on the rodeo circuit soon, Jody?
Yeah, it's been busy summer already, but we head to Lamont this weekend to their rodeo and an event, Darrell, I feel like you would really love. So I'm going to send you a video. They do something called a combine crunch. And they take these old combines and get them running, and then they go in this big, huge mud pit and they just ram each other, and you smash combines until you're the last one standing. And
I'd love to do that.
So crazy.
That would be so fun to see. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I hadn't either. We went last year, so I think I got to announce this event last year, and I get to go back to announce it this year. So when we do the rodeos, I usually just play the music, but this was my opportunity to have a microphone. And I can honestly say, I didn't think I would add Combine Crunch announcer to my resume, but here we are. Here we are.
That's
Go for
amazing.
And may the John Deere win.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of a toss at which brand wins at that point, but whoever's got it working the best, I guess. But it's pretty crazy. So we'll send you some video of that, and maybe next year we'll get you behind the wheel of one.
Okay.
Oh, then I need to come and film that.
Yeah, absolutely. No.
It's
worth a film anyway, just to be like the things people will do with old farm machinery in northern Alberta.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, my friends. Well, we will catch up again soon. Have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll see you soon.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.